Alright, so in Tower Defense Simulator, we've got a lot of good towers for main DPS. We've got Minigunner, both the golden and normal version. We've had the Accelerator, which has some incredible DPS. We even got the Engineer now, which also specializes, again, in DPS. There's of course also Turret. It's not as used, but one of the towers that has just completely kind of died off is the Pursuit. Back then, the Pursuit was one of the best towers, and it's not that the Pursuit is exactly bad now, but with the rate of firebug almost completely gone, and with these really strong towers now, Pursuit has just kind of not really been talked about at all lately. I do think it needs a buff. After all, it's a level 100 tower, and even then you'll still probably find more use in Crook Boss just because using Pursuit as a late game tower doesn't do that well. Alright, so here's my loadout. I have Farm, Militant, Pursuit, DJ, and Commander. I plan on using Pursuit in this game as my main DPS just to see how much damage we can do to the Fallen King. I made a strategy a while back where Ranger and Militant were enough to handle it. Seeing as Pursuit is a level 100 tower, it technically should be better than the Ranger. So I'm gonna spam these two towers, I guess. And what the heck was that? But okay, I'm gonna be doing this just to see, has the Pursuit really fallen off that hard? Since nobody uses Pursuit really, who knows, maybe it's gonna blow everyone's mind and it's about to destroy all 40 waves. Now, keep in mind, Minigunner, not even the Golden Minigunner, by itself can beat this map with support towers. There's a video by Egripted, I believe, where he just did it with Minigunner, Medic, and then support towers. Now, our Pursuit already has an advantage here. It can't get stunned, and the Pursuit also has missiles, so it should do good damage to crowds like this. So if the Mini can beat this map, but Pursuit can't, then we're gonna need to talk below. We're gonna need to buff this thing a little bit. Now, of course, another weakness the Pursuit has is its targeting. It flies around in a circle, and that can screw you up sometimes if it starts focusing on the wrong enemies. So not only is the Pursuit now just overshadowed by other towers, it still has its weaknesses. I know I'm talking quite a lot here, not really commentating on the gameplay, but I do want to give out some suggestions. Perhaps if the Pursuit, instead of spinning in a circle and attacking the first enemy, if it noticed that there was another enemy in front, it would fly over to it instead of sticking to the ones at the back. Well, the problem with my suggestion there is that it kind of takes away from, you know, the mechanic of the Pursuit spinning in a circle. That's kind of what's unique to it. If you kind of get rid of that and just make it follow the first enemy, it'll be like literally every other tower in the game. So I guess it would be nice to see probably just an incredible damage buff on this thing, so that even when it's focusing on the enemies, it doesn't like get stuck on them for like forever, and then you just end up dying. I think that's probably enough talk about the Pursuit, really. Now, it's about time for me to get my final level 3 farm and upgrade this Militant here. I'm going to be needing this upgrade to take down this boss right now. And yeah, from there, I think I'll just get some maxed farms and start placing Pursuits. Now, I was thinking about doing this strategy, as in like, just using Pursuits as final DPS. But that's still kind of a little bit unfair, I'd say. Because it has a placement limit of 10, I just can't help but see it as a tower that's not meant to be really utilized on its own. I feel like it's a tower that could work good with others, which also isn't a bad concept, but when you think about the fact that you could just use accelerators instead and you wouldn't even need a tower like that, then it's a little bit sad. Okay, it's about time I get a DJ. Perhaps right here would be a good placement. I want to get started working on Pursuit because I kind of want a max level one for Fallens. But here you go, we just have a level 3 Pursuit here, which used to do a ton of damage with its missiles, but unfortunately that got nerfed. And you see, at this point, we have a level 4 Pursuit, which is pretty similar in cost to a level 3 Mini. But if you just compare the damage between this and a level 3 Mini, you will quickly notice that it's not as good. And that's not to mention the fact that a level 3 Mini also has hidden detection and doesn't have some weird wacky targeting. Okay, now this is also a problem. The Pursuit kind of just does this. The missiles aren't exactly hitting, and yeah, see, it's not really able to get as much DPS as I'd like it to. So I think another useful feature would be able to change the way the helicopter spins. I know the helicopter is kind of able to do that on its own already, but you kind of have no control over it, and sometimes it just goes where you don't want it to. Like, for example, if you leak your enemy, it's just gonna randomly start going in the other direction, and well, in that case, you're kind of doomed. So hopefully I'm not going to be doomed here, which I'm thankfully not. Alright, so far we've been able to handle 2 giant bosses pretty easily. I'm about to max my DJ. And once I do that, which is right now, you could see the range of the pursuit is really massive. The pursuit is doing what I don't want it to. Alright, well, hopefully it's enough DPS to take down this shadow boss, which it really well might not be. I'm just hoping that it decides to start spinning in the other direction. I'm going to place another pursuit. We obviously are going to want one to take everything down. Thankfully, the pursuit is staying over there, meaning that, yeah, it's going to go towards the shadow boss. I'd argue that's kind of lucky, because there's just a chance that the pursuit could have went the other way and we would have been dead. But there you go. Now I've got 3 of them up, so I think that's going to be enough to handle pretty much everything. Now, in the past, pursuit was better because the missiles weren't nerfed. So the missiles actually did really good damage. Now, I mean, they're alright. They're not really good as they used to be. Because in the past, they did like ridiculous damage. It was like over 30. So yes, each one of those explosions you're seeing was over 30 damage. And now, it's this much. Okay, there we go. Now I got a plushie commander. Pretty much the biggest flex in the game, essentially showing everybody that you spent $40. And let's see how much damage we're gonna do with COA here. So with Call of Arms, that is not too bad. If you think about it, Pursuit is literally just a flying war machine sentry. It is resistant to stuns, it has a gun and missiles, so yeah, it has pretty much every single feature that a War Machine Sentry does. The difference is, of course, this can be buffed by Commander, and War Machine Sentries are temporary. And there we go, now I got all of my pursuits placed down, all 10 of them. And you can see they actually do pretty good damage. Like, if I focus on one, the DPS can increase greatly when it's shooting its missiles, if there's a horde. If there's no horde, then, well, it's alright, I guess. But yeah, it's about time I sell my militant there, and now just focus entirely on pursuits. I should probably also start chaining. That would be a good idea. So we struggled with the tank quite a bit there, but so far it's not looking that bad. I still am uncertain whether or not I should spam militants. I did say I feel like this is a tower that would work better with others, but it's also a level 100 tower. It should be good as a main DPS tower as well. In the past, these pursuits, this many, all focusing on some enemies, would just obliterate this horde. But you can see now the pursuit is definitely relying more on its guns. In the past, the guns combined with the missiles would be doing all of the work. And I think it's mainly their guns that are driving their damage. It's quite unfortunate. I just remember in the past, whenever I was looking through my inventory, thinking of what to bring for late game, and I could actually consider the pursuit as an option. I'd be thinking to myself, Ranger, Accelerator, and then, oh yeah, pursuit exists. So that was always an option, but now, not really. Would you look at this? If these pursuits run out of range, then we might be dead here. Which I think they are, so I'm getting militants. Thankfully, yes, I got them. It didn't have a lot of health, but we might have been dead to that. I honestly couldn't tell. But if something like that is able to happen to begin with, that's not really a good sign for the pursuit. Here's the DPS on the Templar. And oh boy, that is not looking as good as it once was. Are we even going to be able to make it to wave 40 like this? If it weren't for these militants, then we definitely would be dead because would you look at this? Okay, now I'm just giving Pursuit way too many chances. If it can't survive, it can't survive. And I don't think it can survive. Would you look at that? We are dead to errors. Our level 100 tower, which was once really good, now dies at wave 36. And yeah, this just confirms it. The Pursuit has kind of fallen off. Below, please buff this tower. Also, like and subscribe. Goodbye.